Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, back for another video here today on Tuesday on Marvel Strike Force. It's gonna be a bit of an update video, and we're gonna be talking about the blog that went live today. You guys may have heard, if you already watched my video early this morning, then you would have heard me talk about a blog that's going to be detailing the Orchis release methods in detail, and it is true what I had said in that video. We're going to quickly take a look at that blog. We're also going to be taking a look at the Sentinel Orb and see how that looks. And then we're going to be doing a update as well on the Tolerance's Extinction raid event, now that we should know the milestone points that are on the nodes, and I can kind of plug them into the numbers, and then we can do some math on it and see how far that most players are going to be able to get free to play on that, so that you can pick up these Sentinel Orbs, which you're going to be getting the first taste of this week to get some shards for Sentinel. If you haven't already, though, make sure you check out my other video from this morning, which will talk about whether or not you should spend power cores on Sentinel or not, depending on where you are in the game. So if you're ready to go, everybody, let's boil this down. So let's just start here, right, with the blog, the path to Orchis. It's everything I've been saying over the last week, essentially. If you've been following this channel, you know that I've basically alluded to, the orbs and the milestones being what it's going to be, right? And so let's just carry on. Now there is going to be a future blog, which is going to be, honestly, I think it's going to be Thursday. There is some things happening behind the scenes that I'm not privy to, but that I know about. That's going to be happening later, and there's going to be more, I guess, official confirmation, essentially, of what's going to be happening in Marvel Strike Force, or them, Scopely and Boundless, coming out and saying, yeah, we are going forward with this stuff, get F commanders, essentially, but in a more official fashion for the rest of, what to expect with release methods going forward, like the timeline. And very broadly, this is like, expect a free-to-play, expect slow drips of shards over the next 30 to 45 days. At day 60, or maybe a little bit before that, you'll get a strike pass. And, day 90, you're going to get bumps. And then 120 days or 4 months, you're going to get the farm, right? That's kind of what I assume they're going to be outlining in a more official capacity. So I think that's going to be sometime later this week. Could be on the Friday blog, could be a little bit earlier. The path to Orchis, unlocking... So, yeah, while the Annihilators required arena battles, the path to constructing a behemoth Orchis team leads through the raid lane. So, this is kind of them regurgitating the way that the events and the showcases and the ciphers are going to work. And then you get ciphers through the event milestones. And you can then use those to play the bonus showcase missions to basically have an RNG chance to get a diamond for Nimrod. You're exchanging them for that. You're going to spend one cipher. You're going to try to farm that node. You're going to try to get the diamond for Nimrod. That's basically what these are. But in order to do that, you have to have said character unlocked. So at a bare minimum, you need a three yellow Sentinel to be able to run the cipher bonus node to farm a 1 diamond Nimrod. So it's like a triple lock. You need the yellow stars on the character. You need the ciphers, and then you need to pray that you get the drops, the diamond drops on the showcase level. So keep that in mind. It's not fun, in my opinion. They're also they talked about having the multiple orbs. We already know that, right? And each rewards shards for the name new character, right? So you can see the graphic here. That's not important. Raid to an earn Sentinel and Orchis orbs and ciphers. So we have Tolerance's Extinction, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. And it said each of these Sentinel orbs are going to contain at least 1 Sentinel shard per orb. So we've gone from Silver Surfer shards to 1 guaranteed Sentinel shard. So you're going to have to open 100 of these Sentinel shards at a maximum, I suppose, to unlock Sentinel free to play. Now, they do say that the future orbs will vary, and that, maybe it's not all going to be like 1 shard for Nimrod, 1 shard for Omega Sentinel. But either way, this is how it's going to play out for Sentinel. And then they talk about the various ways which you can get these orbs, which is going to be through or how you're going to complete Tolerance's Extinction, which we've kind of seen the, in my math video, right? I kind of outlined that event a little bit as well. But we're gonna actually deep dive the math part later on as well. Ciphers, it's all here. If you want to read it, it's exactly what I just said. You're going to play this, but you need the characters unlocked to actually do them. And then when the showcase, the team showcase comes out, there's like another one. It's like a golden cipher. They're overcomplicating this bullshit, honestly, frankly. I think it's really stupid. And then finally, they actually confirmed the release event for Thanos Endgame, which is going to be the Weekend Blitz Hunter. So basically moving away from the arena thing and doing blitzing. So you're going to, it suggests that we're going to be getting Orchis Team Orbs, or I guess starting with Sentinel, and then you're going to be getting Thanos Endgame Shards for doing a Weekend Blitz milestone. My assumption, because I haven't seen the weekend yet, is that it's going to be like, let's say 20 shards for Thanos Endgame. We're going to do it for 6 weeks, and then eventually you'll get like, an unlock for Thanos, or maybe 5 weeks, So it's that slow drip that they're carrying through for every single character, with the exception of Gladiator, who's like right now getting a, flat 60/100 shards. But Gore is going to be a month long or a 3-week long. Thanos is going to be like probably like a 5 or 6 week long, a slow drip. And then the Orchis characters are all going to be a slow drip as well. So, buckle up for the long haul, because unless you want to spend or, use your power course basically to unlock these characters early, that's about how long it's going to take to get these characters unlocked completely free to play. But let's go and check out the Sentinel Orb. All right, I lied. We're going to be talking about Tolerance's Extinction in the second part of this video here. And you can actually find, so I'm actually recording this before 2 p.m., and you can find the points online before it was in game. So we're going to be calculating through that way. Now, if it's kind of hard to see because of my frame, perhaps a little bit, but the regular nodes seem to have 100 points, and then the bosses have 500. This is consistent all the way through. Now, this is D0. Actually, sorry, this is normal. No, this is Omega. Yeah, Omega D0. And the final boss has 5,000. So that's good to know. Now, I want to see if this changes at all at the higher difficulties. 100, it doesn't seem to. 100, 100. Oh, no, there is actually. There is bonus points by 100 per. So 200 and 600 on the bosses. And then the final boss is 50, 100. It's kind of stupid. So it is a lot more on the regular nodes, but it doesn't really make much of a difference on like the final boss. And then if we jump to like difficulty 3, so I'm going to plug this into a spreadsheet. We're going to kind of see what it ends up to. So about 800 more. Wow. On difficulty 3 here on the regular nodes. So that's kind of interesting. And we're going to have to math this out and to see. It's not that final node doesn't really make too much of a difference. However, difficulty 2, what's the bonus for that? It's going to be 500. So it may actually work out better to do the difficulty that you're used to running rather than aiming for the 100%, but we're going to break down the math right now and kind of show you what you need to do. All right, everyone, and we're here for the Tolerance Extinction table. I've ran the numbers, and things look pretty good. Even if you're only running D0, I think as far as your chances to get all the Sentinel Orbs, it looks pretty good. So as you can see here, now I will say that, if you're looking at my table, it might look a bit weird. So what I have included is the node points here. And then for the lane boss, I added it separately in the total. And then we multiplied it by 3, which will include the different, right, there's 3 maps, right, or 3 teams rather per run. And so these are the totals per single run. And then this gets multiplied by 5 days. And that's what you get here. I've also included the raid limit of 192k. Plus, as of recording, I haven't seen the free claim for the Allied Supply Orb Fragment, but it should be there. I've used a placeholder figure of 500. That's pretty reasonable. Sometimes we've had 800, so this value might be a little bit low. But nonetheless, it does show at the various difficulties if you're running Omega. And I do have a normal one down here. I don't know how many people run the normal raid, but this is for Omega raid here. What your general expectations are going to be for the points for Tolerance's Extinction for these various difficulties. And it jumps dramatically at D2 because you're getting triple the amount of points per node on D2 versus D1. There's not a huge difference between D0 and D1, but when you get up to D2, it's quite different. So if you're looking for a million, like keep in mind, this is 100% clear. And not everyone's going to do that. So, your mileage will vary a little bit. I didn't want to do every single scenario at 40%, 70% for every single difficulty. My apologies. So these are the totals at 100% at that various difficulty. So it's going to vary. But, doing, say, 70% at D3 is going to be better than 100% at D2. So, if you're looking for 1 million, if you're looking to cap that milestone, which does actually cap out, let's go to full screen mode. This does actually cap out at 1 million to get all of this stuff down here. To get all of the Sentinel Orbs, though, you only need about 440k, which is pretty reasonable, right? Like, there's a cipher there at 550 as well. But 440 is very reasonable. If you're running... Now, not everyone's going to get 100% on Orchis 0, so that might not be obtainable for everyone, but at least you should be able to get the this one here, Milestone 14, which is 340k if you're running D0. I think that's pretty reasonable, to be honest. So that shouldn't be that difficult to get. The Sentinel Orbs, should be pretty easy to get. It's just depending on how, obviously, the more you push, it almost doesn't even make sense to run D3. You might as well just run D2. If you're someone running D3, you're going to miss out on season points, I suppose. But as far as the Alliance event goes, you might as well just do 100 at D2, and you're half that 1 million points. So that shouldn't be too difficult. If that's your goal, I mean, that's what I would do. I'm going to be running D2 with my Alliance. I don't know if we're going to get to 1 million, though, because we don't run, 100%. We run like 50, 55, that kind of range, but I still expect to get pretty high up on this. Hopefully for my Alliance, we'll get to at least milestone 19. That would be great. I don't really care that much about the 2 Diamond Orbs, given that we had all of that stuff from Pocket Dimension, that it just seems a bit inconsequential at this point. Now, finally, before we end the video, though, I do want to talk a little bit about the Sentinel Orbs. Okay, so these Sentinel Orbs are in the game here under the Sentinel Factory Orb, and so it looks like that most of us are going to pick up the 12, I believe it's 12, right? 12 total orbs that are going to be available in Tolerance is Extinction. Now, this is my first time looking at the orb. 1-to-1, actually, let's do the left pillar first. So, okay, there's a Cipher and some Raid Energy. I don't know how much Raid Energy you're going to get out of these orbs. That's weird. I've never seen that as an orb drop before, but okay. Maybe it's like 10. That'd be neat, I guess. The right pillar has 1 of Scientist Supreme and Lady Deathstrike. Okay, I hope it's not 1, but it probably is. 98% Sentinel Shard 1. Are you fucking kidding me? 10 for 1.2% is garbage as well. Like, that's like a 1 in 100 odds. And then 100 for 0.4%. Holy moly. So I don't know, but I'd almost rather have the daily arena orbs back, because at least I had other chances to get shards, right? It wasn't just 1. There was like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, I think, but like there was quite a few different types of drops for multiple characters, actually, with the Thanos Orb and the Gore Orb. But for this one, is 98. It's like it's essentially 1. This is basically 1. I'm not even going to EV or estimated value the orb, because it's basically 1. You're going to be getting this the majority of the time, if not every single time. So I guess Tolerance's Extinction is worth about, if you get all the orbs, you're getting 12 shards of Sentinel, of which, you could have just pulled 2 core orbs and you would have got as much for the same week's worth of effort. This is fucking trash. I'm sorry for the swearing, but good God. These orbs are terrible. Terrible. And I don't know about you all, but I feel like this game is going in a direction that is just absolute downright horseshit. And it's not fun to be getting, I don't know, like a slow drip of 15 shards, less than that, actually. Like less than 15 shards a week. Is it going to take 6 weeks to get enough, to get 100 shards of Sentinel free to play? Maybe. That just sounds like dog shit to me. I don't know what else to say without more expletives, so I've already done a lot of that in the last couple minutes. Whew. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. I'm going to post the Tolerance's Extinction tables in my Discord server, and hopefully they have the free claim for the Allied Supply Orb Fragment, which I'll then fix the 500 placeholder. But you should be able to score pretty well if you're running Orchis Raid. If you're not, it's a bit unfortunate that you're probably not going to score that well on this event, because the raid limit cap is 192k. So just to point that out for you guys. But otherwise, that's the end of Boilon's second video for the day. There won't be any more. This is it. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below, especially regarding the Orchis release methods, and what you feel about this Sentinel Orb going forward. That's it for now, and until next time, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.